Hi guys, it's Meg. Guess what? I have nothing to talk about today. No, really. There's like a lot that I could talk about, but none of it really interests me right now. So I was like racking my brain, trying to think, what topic can you talk about today, Megan? Because I've been doing a video every week, but my heart is just not in it this week. We've seen all of the promos and we've talked about it and we made our predictions, and now it's kind of just a wait and see sort of thing, because honestly I have been reading a lot of like rumors and speculation and theories and stuff on Spoil the Dead website, and it's just like driving me crazy. All of the different theories, like Carol's the killer. What are Daryl and Beth doing laying there on the ground? Is somebody hunting them? Did they get darted with a dart? A sleeping dart? That's what I'm trying to say. Something that, a tranquilizer, thank you. You know, just like, ooh, what if Terrell, oh, I can't talk, you guys. Carol and Tyrese, what if they meet? What's gonna happen? Who has Judith? Michonne has Judith. No, Tyrese has Judith. No, Judith is dead. Guys, I can't do it. There are so many theories going around, and I've kind of made my predictions, and I kind of think I know what's gonna happen, but I feel like it's just really repetitive now to just keep talking about it. So I'm not gonna talk about it. And I should warn you guys that my camera is dying a slow and painful death. It got sand in it in like 2012. Just like a little bit of sand. It was in my pocket, and I stuck the camera in my pocket, and it never like bothered the camera at all until I started using it for YouTube. And now the sand is in like the zoomer thing, the zooming thing. Guys, I don't know any camera lingo. I don't know any lingo at all. I can't talk today. There's sand in there, and it will like never zoom out all the way, and it takes forever. Okay, so once this is what happens. I'm like, I'm gonna go make a video. I have a great idea. And then I turn the camera on, and it goes, and the zoom won't come out. Like the lens won't come out. And then I have to mess with it and like whisper sweet nothings to it, and then eventually it will come out, but it doesn't like focus on anything, and it's all blurry, and you go, so then you have to like fiddle with the little zoom button like in and out over and over again, like zooming it, and then finally it's like, okay, I'm gonna focus, great, thanks. So then it focuses, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a video now, and I sit down and I press record, and for like the first, it's usually 6 or 7 times I try to record. It records for 5 seconds, and then it just turns off, and it's like, we can't record. So I'm sitting here like an idiot, like talking to the camera, only to realize that like 5 minutes ago it stopped recording after only 5 seconds. So that's been happening. It's to the point now where it's really not working. I'm surprised it's working right now. In fact, maybe I should check and see. Oh yeah. Sorry, that took a minute. The light is glaring. Yeah, it's recording right now. But it also only gives me 8 minutes to talk, which I know you guys probably don't watch all of 8 minutes. But it only gives me 8 minutes, so I'll have to keep starting it over after 8 minutes to do like different scenes. Anyways, that's that. Guys, there's only like 34 days left until The Walking Dead. Are you really excited? I'm really excited. I don't look that excited right now, but I'm really excited. So I thought today I would tell you how I got into The Walking Dead and why I love it so much and why I'm obsessed with it. I actually did not start watching The Walking Dead when the first season came out. When season 3 came out, I had kind of off and on heard a little bit about it, but I didn't even hear that much about The Walking Dead before season 3. And then somehow I saw a commercial for the premiere, season 3, and I was like, huh, it's like a zombie movie. I like zombie movies. I could maybe watch that. So I turned it on after the season 3 premiere had started, like a little bit into the show, and I really got into it. And that's how I started. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. So I watched all of season 3 without having seen any previous seasons. And then I was so into it by the end of season 3, but I felt like, so at that point I felt like I knew the characters, but like Lori's death didn't really affect me at all because I wasn't attached to her at all. It was like I had just met all of these characters, and then she died, and we thought Carol was gone, and I think T-Dog, did T-Dog die right away? Yeah, T-Dog died, but I wasn't really attached to any of them, so I didn't feel sad, which I feel a little gypped now, because I feel like if I had started watching season 1 from the Walking Dead from season 1, the very beginning, I would have been so much more emotional seeing Lori die and seeing T-Dog die and thinking that Carol was gone. But I didn't have a chance to, get attached to them at all, really. So that's how it started. Then I went online and I watched season 1 and 2, and I became obsessed. Pretty much I sat and did like one of those marathon movie watching things where I didn't get up from the computer for like 3 days. And I just sat there and stared and watched the entire seasons, and I was so just enthralled by it. Like, it is such an amazing show, and we all know that now, but to be a first timer watching it, man, it was like this continuous zombie movie, and I've always loved zombie movies, and yet this one just keeps going on and on and on, and it's so real. I mean, besides the fact that people are coming back from the dead, it all feels very real when you're watching The Walking Dead, because it's all set in the same time frame, really, as we are right now, and you're kind of thinking, what would I do if I suddenly, like Rick, what would I do if I suddenly walked outside and saw this only half of a dead body trying to attack me, It would freak you out, right? Well, maybe not now, because yeah, it totally cut me off again. Sorry. What was I talking about? The Walking Dead. I lost my train of thought. Well, I was talking about how The Walking Dead feels really real. You guys all know this. I think that you're not really a hardcore Walking Dead fan if you don't relate to it in that way and feel like in all those situations that our characters end up in, I'm constantly thinking, what would I do in that situation? And that's what I think makes a really good show out of it. Not just the plot, not just the great characters, but the fact that I put myself into those characters' shoes, and I want to think about how I would react to the situations they're in and put myself there, and it really gets to you, and especially when you're thinking about it all the time, even when you're not watching it. So I watched season 1 and 2, and then I watched season 3 again, and then at that point we were just waiting for season 4 to come out, and it's been a really long time, it feels like. So in the meantime, I started reading the comics, and I didn't really want to read them at first. I'm not a comic person. I've never read comics before. But finally I was like, I really need my Walking Dead fix. Like, I had watched interviews with the cast online, and I just needed something more. So I rented from the library the compendiums 1 and 2, and I got so into them. I never thought that I would actually enjoy reading them at all. I thought that it would be totally different, which it is. It's definitely not the same story as what we see on TV. The characters die at different times, and the plot is somewhat the same now that we're in season 4, but really it's been quite different for all the past seasons, but I really enjoyed it, and now we're at season 4, and I'm making YouTube videos about it. And I started YouTube just not really knowing what I was going to do. I didn't make any videos at first, but I knew that I really wanted to make videos because I kind of liked the idea of just talking to complete strangers about random things, but I didn't know what to talk about. And then The Walking Dead season 4 was going to come on, and it just clicked. I just decided my very first video to I dropped my kid off at school and I sat in the car and I was like, I'm gonna talk about The Walking Dead episode 1 that I just watched and I'm really, really excited about, because in my real life here, I really don't have hardly anyone to talk to about The Walking Dead. Like, my mom watches it, and a couple of my coworkers watch it, but we're so busy at work that we don't really get to talk about it and get really into it. Plus, I'm pretty sure I'm way more obsessed with it than they are. So when I start, like, analyzing things, they kind of look at me like, okay, yeah, that's great, uh-huh. So I loved the fact that I could just talk to anybody. I don't know who's watching this, but hopefully talk to other Walking Dead fans, which I've discovered I have a lot of fellow Walking Dead fans out there. So it's been really great talking to you guys, and that's how I got into The Walking Dead and why I make Walking Dead videos. So that's it, guys. I'm sorry, this video is really boring. I don't know if I'm going to make anything next week. We have, like, what is it? I said 34 days, so like 4 more weekends before The Walking Dead comes on. And usually I make a video every weekend, but I don't know. We'll see if my camera lasts. If you guys have ideas, I would love to hear them. Doesn't mean I'll necessarily do them, so don't take offense. I kind of don't want to force myself to make videos if I'm not feeling it. You know, I could talk about a lot of things. I was actually thinking of talking about Abraham and Rosita and Eugene characters that are going to be coming in, but my heart wasn't in it this weekend, you guys. The only really thing I have to say about that is I'm a little bit hesitant for Christian Serratos, I think that's how you say her name, to play Rosita, because all I think about is Twilight when I see her. Don't get me wrong, I really like Twilight. I really like Twilight. But I also don't want to be thinking of Twilight characters when I'm watching The Walking Dead, because it's completely like 2 different things that have nothing to do with each other. So we'll see how that goes. Okay guys, I might as well just end this here because I don't think any of you are still watching. But if you are, thank you so much. I love you guys. I will maybe see you next week. Leave comments down below if there's certain things that you want me to talk about. I'll read them and maybe do them. I don't know. Or if you have other ideas of things for me to do. Do you know what I did today? I found this thing online for, you know when you search online for something, like I was looking at survival stuff, like survival kits and stuff, and you know how you look at one thing and then one thing leads to another and you get like really far away from what you started looking at? Well, I ended up at like the survival cooking and survival bread, and I decided to make with candles and like little tin cookware that I have this survival bread. And so that's what I did all morning, and I was gonna film it, but my camera was acting up and it would not work, and the lighting was weird and it just wouldn't work. I needed a second person to be like a camera person for me, because I couldn't just set it up like it is now and leave it, because it just wasn't focusing and stuff. I needed somebody to do it for me. So I didn't. The bread turned out okay. I could definitely eat it. It's literally, you just mix like water and flour and baking powder together and you cook it. I think that was it. Oil too, maybe. And you cook it, and then you cook it and you eat it, and it is food when you don't have any other food. It tasted okay. It actually didn't taste that bad. I ended up putting some jam on it though. I don't think you would have jam in the end of the world scenario when you've run out of food, but hey, you might find some. So okay guys, I will maybe see you next week. I love you, bye.